Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you for another TBC Live broadcast. My name is Stephen Tyrone Cuffey, reporting for my broadcast being my 447th live broadcast. And, folks, approaching 450 live broadcasts in the next 3 days is a great accomplishment, of course, but I'm going to just keep plugging along. Well, first of all, I want to thank Verlaine. I saw you. You're the first one on my chat. Thank you so much, sweetheart, for being there, for always supporting me as you always do. I love you so much and always will, no matter what anyone or anywhere, anybody on this earth say, because we give it to God first about that board that binded us. But I want to thank also my our two little ones, Kayla and Kaylin, if they're watching, and family friends that's watching that I love too. Because no matter what anyone say, I would always love you all. It's just the way I feel. Okay. And also all the people that always come and support me, the TBCNs. Thank you so much for always supporting me as you do. That means more to me than you know. I thank you so much. And I'm just going to bring up the chat right now. Oh gosh, let me see, what did I do here? Yes, yes, Mr. Simone, I see you, and as well as Mr. Shohag from the Bangladesh community. Thank you so much for y'all being here. Thank you, and Mr. Sharif Khan. My Bangladesh community, always there, always supportive. Okay, all right. Now, okay, folks, listen closely. Okay, after I do the show us the blog, I have something I'm going to show you all that's so true. Okay, that I found today. I'm going to just be going over, and that's going to be what my broadcast is about today, is what I'm going to show you. Okay, but first, let's go to the blog at this point in time. All right. Okay. The first thing on this blog says, and this is happens to be admin took this about because I went over it a little bit about on my Screen Crash back office and near the end of my broadcast, and it says great things about bulk payment and credits, and that there is no mining fees. Okay, and that was my 446 live broadcast, but actually it was about some other things, but I did go over that little lightly at the end of my broadcast, if you recall, if you were there yesterday. Thank you so much, admin. How to redeem bounty for KCBO credit, plus how much you can earn as a KCBO credit dealer. And this was done, I think we showed this yesterday, by one of the people in Africa doing it on his phone. Okay. Yeah, I believe this is, yes, I believe this looks familiar. Let me see. Yeah, this was actually done. I showed you all this yesterday. It was just dated today. Actually, it was dated yesterday. So actually, they're not, other than my broadcast, there really wasn't any other new broadcast, because this was put in here, I guess, early in the morning, mine. So let's just go on. What I'm going to do now, and this may not be as long of a broadcast today, but I'm going to go over something and show you all something, okay? And y'all can read this as I read it, okay? Because I'm going to read it slowly, and I'm going to read it twice in a row. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit. All right, here we go. Here it is now, folks. All right, it says, and it reads as such: you can determine your future, but you can't determine your habits, and your habits will determine your future. Your habits are choices. It's from a book called Choose to Win. I'm going to repeat it again. You can't determine your future. That's what it says. You can't determine your future, but you can determine your habits, and your habits will determine your future. Your habits are choices. One more time. You can't determine your future. Now let's talk about that a minute. Right. We can't determine what our future going to be, but you can determine your habits, can't you? We develop our own habits, don't we? We develop our own habits here in TBC. Some people got habits that they don't want, they just want to sit back and watch and see what everybody else do. And just do no broadcast, don't grow our community, don't do anything regarding those activities. You know, I was had in a business I was about 9-10 years ago that I referred to in the past. And a millionaire always say, if you're not engaged in money making activities, you're not getting anything accomplished in this business. Well, the same thing here in the Billion Coin. If you're not engaged in making good habits that will determine your future in TBC, then things will materialize for you. I had people call me. I had William Anthony, a guy from Tobacco. He asked me about another question today that I was able to answer him. How about see, he's engaged. He has a female lawyer out in his area that wants to purchase $1,500 of TBC from him, and he stopped himself because he knew that you have to contact the commissioner if you're going to do anything of over $1,000 of a transaction. And I gave him all the particulars, all the things he needed to put in his email. Email the commissioner first before you make that transaction. Is the safe way to be about it. And I gave him what he needed to say to the commissioner. Okay, I'm sure the commissioner would approve it. You just got to let them know that is the rule of the TBC 009 wallet. That's one of the rules. Anything over 1,000, you have to notify the commissioner at the commission at thebillioncoin.info at that email. Well, again, Anthony is working on his habits, and those habits will determine his future, because as it states here last, your habits are your choices. See, my habits are not my sweetheart Merlene's habits. We have some similar habits, but they're not all. Okay? But we make good habits so we can have a great future together, see? But the same thing here in TBC. You know you can't determine your future. You can hope that you can have a great future. You can hope that you can have some great things happen for you and your family. But if you start building great habits that pertains to what you're trying to achieve, then you will reap the better results in the end, as in here in the Billion Coin. Reason Ace Fletcher and Mr. Victor and also Mr. M.B. Derrick are the top 3 in the Bitcoin contest this week. Do you know they have good habits? That's why you see them at the top 3, and all the people that's involved in it are performing great habits, which ultimately will determine their future. You see, folks, we can't expect anything good to happen for our future if we don't develop those habits that can pertain to that future, can we? See, sometimes people expectations are up too high, but they don't have no basis for their expectations. It's just it's like a wishing, hoping, and a prayer. But God help those who help themselves, right? A lot of people don't have happiness in their life and do not have the nice personality, and they just want to bring people down when they're not feeling good in themselves. But see, personally, I feel good about myself. I don't have anything to hide. I feel great. And so do Merlene. We talked about today when we greeted each other on the phone. And the great thing is, because she's at work today, because she works at a hospital. But the great thing is, we make good habits. We instill good habits in people that really need help, like the people in her country, Philippines, that we were feeding, clothing, and giving medical services to. Those are good habits to help others. Because if you're helping people, folks, if you create the habit of helping people, like we do here in the Billion Coin, and I'm not even saying if, but when we get to 1 billion members, when we can really see the full effect of our whole concept called the Billion Coin, it is going to be wonderful, folks. And only those that develop good habits will ultimately determine that future you will have in the Billion Coin, folks. So I'm gonna read this one time again. You can't determine your future, but you can determine your habits. And your habits will determine your future. Your habits are your what? Your choices, the choices you make. And if you make those same choices over and over again, aren't they habits? You see, folks? So let's make sure that we're making great habits in life, and make great habits as far as what you indulge yourself in. In this case, the Billion Coin, we refer to as TBC. Okay? Keep that in mind, folks. All right? Let me come out of this screen share just a minute. Folks, I want to show you that. And I know a lot of people is going to agree to that. Okay? A lot of people will agree to that. All right? Thank you, Samuel, for coming in. And Christina, thank you. And Nonito, well, thank you so much for reporting me, Nonito, from Philippines. So great, folks, as it said, you can't always determine that future, because it's your habits that determine your future. If you have bad habits, expect a bad future. You see? You make good habits that are your choices anyway, then you will have a good future. And that's the same thing here in the Billion Coin, folks, or any other online business, any sport you may play, anything. Look, a person that plays basketball, baseball, or whatever sport. Let's talk about Mr. Everybody knows, the world knows about Michael Jordan. Remember Michael Jordan? He just shot that ball and shot that ball and shot that ball when everybody was sleeping, improving his shot. That's why he was one of the, if not the best basketball player ever existed. He didn't achieve that greatness by not developing great habits. You see? He just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it until he became great. Well, the same thing applies to anyone in the Billion Coin. If you're going over the blog, at least reading it, or going up another level and become a student of the blog, and you're on it over and over again, at least 2 to 3 times a day. That's just what I recommend. That's what I do. But how If I create that habit of doing that, why do you people almost every single week from different parts of the world, people reach out to me and ask me a question about TBC? Every single week, someone does. See, they haven't developed. If they knew, that's one thing. But people that's been in TBC for months, and if you're not repeatedly developing a habit to go into that blog for your main source of information, then what happens is you get rusty. You don't understand something. You get something misconstrued. Things don't work out for you. And anything you're involved in, I don't care whether it's an online business, whether it's a sport, you have to be a student of whatever that is. You have to know it. You have to make sure that you're creating habits so you can gain that knowledge to be great at what you are existing in. So if you really want to determine that future, create these great habits in TBC. If you want to be great in TBC and know how to talk to people, to get people involved in TBC, then you got to go over the steps to knowing what to say and what to do. Okay? All right, folks. That was it. I told you it's going to be a short broadcast today. That was short and sweet to let you know. I just want to show you that. I want you to just digest that, and hopefully it means something to you as you go through your journey and the billion coin that we refer as TBC. Okay? All right, folks? Does anyone at all got any questions at all for me? Anyone got any questions at all for me? Okay? Ask them now. If anybody wants to come on the panel to say any few words, do so now because I have some time. Okay? Okay? I did put my link in the chat area. If anybody wants to come, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying if you want to, you can, because I do have about 11 minutes left. Okay. All right, folks. No questions. I didn't think anybody would have any questions today, and y'all usually don't. I guess I must be doing a great job for never have that many questions. Just everybody speaking to each other. Yeah, Mr. Samuel, thank you for coming in from Nigeria. Thank you so much. See, I have people come from all over the world, all parts of Africa, all parts of Asia, Philippines, all parts of, and sometimes people from Europe, Italy, like Mr. Simone. He may be Bangladesh, but he lives in Italy. Canada with Christine Tangway. I'm telling you, people come out to support me, and we support each other in our broadcast. Okay. All right. While I'm here, I'm just going to, as a reminder, and I'll remind people tomorrow. As of right now, I will be doing the broadcasters meeting on Monday morning. Okay. And that's 30 minutes before the send button meetings. Make sure you support Mr. Nonito Robel. He's here in the chat. He's a send button host for the country of the Philippines. Make sure you support Mr. Mizanor, that is of the Bangladesh community, and Mr. Mbe, Derek. He's in Cameroon, but he supports these English speaking meeting. Make sure that you support everyone in those send button meetings to learn something. Okay, even if you can't understand the language, get the keyword, then you get extra cookies. Okay, 1 million if you are cookies if you are a broadcaster. All right. Okay, folks. That's all I had today. I'd like to thank you all. Thank you so much, Merlene, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart, for always supporting me. I'll hopefully be talking to you soon when you get a few moments. Again, thank you, Kayla and Caitlin, if you're watching from California, and other great family and friends from California. Thank you so much for everyone here in the chat area that supports me. Okay? And I'll see you all tomorrow okay? For another live broadcast around the same time. Stay blessed, stay strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, everybody.